Good morning, welcome back. Day number 22. Day number 22, just over a week to go for 30 days, 30 consecutive days coming live to you and sharing tips, composition tips more specifically. I'm having a lot of fun with this. I've had some technical issues and I thank you very much for, for persisting with me. Today we're going to talk about some more Gestalt theories. We're going to talk about common fate, continuity, and similarity. So we're going to cover three different tips today. As I discussed a couple of days ago, the Gestalt theory was their design principles. You find it in graphic design, lots of different influence. It has has a lot of influence over lots of different composition outside of photography as well in design. So it's really cool. It's So we're going to talk about those three. Before I go on, yes, you've been very patient with me the way I've been doing my streams. Some have been starting 2 minutes after the little welcome sign, and others have just been cut off abruptly. Others have had the audio just disappear. It's been a challenge. That said, I've been running everything off this system on my iPad, and I'm about to abandon it. I'm about to start again. Because you know me, I'm a perfectionist, and I love things like being able to switch cameras and be able to share my iPhone screen with you and all these sort of things. So this is what I'm working towards. I've had to make it work with the system that I have here, and I can do really cool things like I can share my screen, have lower thirds, all that sort of thing. Now, the system that I'm moving across to, I can't have that background like that. I'm sure there's a way, but it's very technical, and it'll be well beyond me for a little while. But I'll be able to do mostly the basics like this, which is switching cameras, sharing the screen, and more importantly, my microphone will be much better. At the moment, with everything running through the iPad, it's being unreliable. And then when I go on to Zoom and webinar software that I actually make my income out of with delivering live workshops to photo enthusiasts like yourself and corporate clients, oh my gosh, it doesn't work as well as this. So at the moment, everything kind of syncs back up and just works at the moment on YouTube, which is brilliant. That was my primary focus when I put all this together. But now that I'm trying to, make an income out of this and I'm charging clients for it, I need to up my game. I need to improve it. And I want a system that's better than just, a webcam and a microphone that covers my face. So yeah, I've got some more kit coming, and I've spent a fair bit already, and you might see it on eBay. Actually, you will see it on eBay. Trying to recover some of it, but I'm really enjoying this. I hope you're enjoying it too. Please let me know. I would love to. Some people have been contacting me outside of YouTube, and that's fantastic. It's great. If you would like, share the video, the playlist underneath in the description. I have the playlist link. If you share that with other people in communities, that would also be really, really helpful. So with that, let's get into it. All right, common fate. Now, what I'm going to do here is just go through, because as you know, if you're new here, this is the first time, welcome, g'day. If you've been following this playlist and this series that I'm talking about, it's all based on my stronger photo composition, my 4-step system. What I'm talking about here is in step number 3, which is a long list of different ways of positioning elements in the frame. So we've already talked about step number 1, positioning the camera, right angle, tilt, height, distance, lens selection. So it's preparing and positioning the camera. Number 2 was positioning the main subject, where you position it, lower third, upper third, off to the side, dominant. So many we've covered already. Number 3 now is where we get into positioning other elements to complete that story, complete that narrative, the contextual elements or focal points, whatever you want to call it. And then step number 3 is, we've covered a couple in step number 3, which is brilliant, was the photo editing. Just checking, make sure that it's, yep, coming through okay. If my audio is bad, please let me know, because I'm trying something else. I can see that I'm not peaking, which means where it comes out really distorted and crackly. Yeah, fantastic. All right. So, common fate. How about I bring my screen up so you can read it with me, if you can see it there. Similar to the law of proximity. All right, law of proximity. I do this. I digress, as you know. Proximity. We covered this earlier. That's this one here. It's proximity is if items in the frame are close together, they get associated as one grouping. All right. So, because the whole idea of the Gestalt theory and design principles that we're talking about is it's how your eye and your brain connect. Because when we look at a scene, we try to interpret it, bang, straight away. We try to go, okay, this is what it's about. And I just realized I'm looking at the wrong camera. You're over here. I need a red light, don't I? Actually, this is one of the problems I'm having with this system is when I split, I think the new one's going to do the same thing. When I split the screens, it can only go to the same one every time, which I've got it selected so that I'm talking to you a little bit closer, which is good. All right. What was I talking about? Proximity. That's right, proximity. So, yeah, our eye and our brain try to simplify the scene. So when we look at it, we try and interpret and go, what's this about straight away? So to do that, we simplify everything. We kind of group everything. We go, okay, that's what the story is. That's, oh yeah, now I get it. There's the depth. Yep, bang, 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 you're all done. So proximity is where items together, like in here with this rock, or I'll bring this might be a bit better. Let's bring that one up. With this rock formation here, I've forgotten what that's called. It's that becomes one object in the scene. Does that make sense? Because they're close proximity, a grouping, and as they're further apart, then it starts to introduce rhythm and pace and all that cool stuff we talked about. Okay, so common fate is similar to the law of proximity. Objects in the scene that are in a scene that are orientated in the same direction are heading towards the same thing. It brings like I say there, it brings it becomes one coherent group. So this is similar to a flock of birds flying. Okay, let me bring this up. Nope, don't have one there. So you've seen it. You've seen a flock of birds, and they all fly in a triangle, and they all fly in the same direction to get out of the wind and support each other. And then they rotate. It's a bit like a peloton in cycling. Then one falls back, goes out, falls to the back, and then they continue to share the workload. So they have a common fate. They have a common area that they're going. And this is how we group these sheep. See, these sheep at the moment, even though there's a couple of black sheep in there, which look really cool and add a bit of interest, the fact that they're all still going in the same direction means that they're all still one common group there. All right, I think that's resting on there. Let me just move this. Get that out of the way. There we go. All right. See this level of professionalism I'm trying to bring to you? When I type on the keyboard, it goes click, 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 click. So I've bought this wireless Bluetooth keyboard that has soft keys. So when I'm typing, you can't hear it. But when I rest that on there, oh man, just try and improve one thing and another thing falls apart. It's all good fun. It really is. All right, so I heard a sheep walking the same direction, even though they might have different color sheep. It's still a group, and that's what it's all about. It's being a grouping. All right, so how do we apply this in practice? How do we apply this practically? Patience. If you're looking at animals or feeding time on a farm, if you're driving along country road and you see all the farm animals there, beautiful lighting, and you go, oh, I want to capture this. Quite often, you might see them heading towards food. So farmers, different types of animals will bring out food at the same time every day. So it becomes a routine for the animal. So patience, understanding your subject, knowing, okay, this time of the day, they'll be heading off to get their food. At night time, cows will go out to, I've seen it where they go out to a watering hole, a dam, and have their drink, and then they all kind of walk off together. So, yeah, just understand your subject and be patient. All right. Continuance. Law of continuance. See how they call them laws? I mean, composition is not about laws, and because people say, oh, the laws are there meant to be broken. These are all principles here to help you understand. And I don't want you to get too bogged down with, well, I've got that space at the bottom. I might bring that one up. There you go. You're already a member of the free club, but pop it up there so you remember how to get into it. So, so people talk about that. Yeah, I like to. It kind of holds me back with my creativity from chasing all these different laws of composition, and I get it. When I started doing composition and learning about composition, because as you know, 25 years working in photography, the last 5 as a mobile purist and mobile and photo enthusiast, because the first 20 years there was no creativity in my photography. It was just a job, go and do my thing. I'd never heard of, never really did composition or creativity, different perspectives and interesting photos. They were just the same. And so I get it. When I started doing this, I thought, okay, I need to use this law and this law. And that's what works so well with my 4-step system, is that just grab 1 or 2 out of each of these toolboxes, each of these groupings that I've put all these 100+ techniques and tools into. And before you know it, you've compounded that composition with no effort. And this huge resource that I've put together for you, it's great for looking at one of your photos and self-assessing it and analyzing and going, why does this work so well? Oh, I know, because the cloud formations is doing this, and that's directing your attention, you as the viewer, that's directing your attention. Oh, because it's doing that, when I go to editing, I'm going to further enhance that. I'm going to do this and this, and that's where it gets fun and really, really exciting. All right, I've digressed. I did it again. I need a different sound for when I do that. Actually, my new system won't have all these videos. I can do graphic overlays, but I can't do video. So why don't we make most of it, and I'll throw in my sting and out just to have fun. Woohoo! I can't do that for much longer, so I'll throw it in there. But like I said, this new system is going to be better sounding, and it's going to be great. I can't wait. All right. So continuance. All right. So we talked about why we do all this sort of thing. All right. So this is where something follows a particular path, and bringing your own experiences, your mind fills in the blanks. So if you've got something going in one direction, but you can't quite see what's there. Now I talked about leading lines earlier, and I talked about one of the things you could do with leading lines is have a reward at the end of it. So people, you've attracted their attention, you've held their attention, you're now guiding them through a leading line, like a road or an S-curve of some sort, a building top line. You know what I'm trying to say? Tree line, whatever it is, something is grabbing their attention and pulling it to something else. Having something there rewards them. Go, oh yeah, cool. That's where I've gone to. But sometimes having that kind of void and not having something there, like a path going into a shadow. I love shadows in photography, or a shaded area where you can't quite see what's going on there, or kind of just going around the corner. Then our brain continues that path and fills in the gap. All right. So let's see if I covered all that with that quick little explanation. Yep, mind is filling in the gaps by using the visual system, our eyes and brain. It's fascinating stuff. I've been reading more on visual scanning. Google visual scanning. That's really intriguing when you learn about points of fixation and saccades, eye movements, and how they use heat maps to study that. It's really cool stuff. Okay. This explains why leading lines are so powerful, because we instinctively follow them to their natural end. Okay, so here's an example, and I'll bring this up larger for you. Okay, and get me out of the way so we can enjoy the full photo. There we go. Okay, so this is the Millennium Bridge. Millennium or Millennial? I can't remember now. Oh my gosh. Bridge towards St. Paul's Cathedral in London, and beautiful spot. It's hard to get beautiful clouds in London, but here we go. And you've got the human element in there, which is really cool, and red just pops. That's really cool. It would have been nice if it was timed better and that person was off center there. But anyway, that's all good. And yeah, so we can't see on the other side of the bridge, But we know the bridge continues, and we know on the other side of the bridge there's going to be a pathway or a road or something like this. This is a pathway, so the pathway is going to continue. But we don't need to provide all that information because we fill it in ourselves. So yeah, there we go. Alrighty, similarity now. Okay, so let's touch on similarity. And similarity, law of similarity suggests our brains group things together with identifiable similarities, like here with these deer. Like, even though some of them are out of focus, they're blurred with that differential focus that we've already talked about. Remember, after focus, cool app you can use to do this after the fact. So if you have a garden bed full of flowers and they're all kind of interspaced and all over the place, but you've got some common themes in there, so you've got some similarity and common themes with different colors. Even though some red flowers will be here, some will be over there, and then you've got yellow and you've got orange, our brain groups the red ones all together and groups all the yellow ones all together. So I think that pretty much sums it up really quickly. Let me just have a quick read. So categorize elements into groups instinctively. We mentally break down the elements of a scene for meaning. Yep, already talked about that. Into separate groups. Even objects of similar color we talked about, texture and shape, size, all that sort of thing. Okay, the law of similarity explores the brain's tendency to identify matching features and attribute meaning to those matching features. Yeah, fantastic. All right, I think we covered it all. Let me just have a quick look back at the chat. No one's chatting. That's okay. If you chat in the comments after on the replay, I get a notification and I jump on there and continue the conversation with you there. That's one of the things I love about my forum, and I'll put a link back up here. It's free forum. So just go to that one. Smartphonephotography.club is the easiest way to get there, and that's where I share all my latest tutorials, blog posts, YouTube videos. I've got a free course in there, which is really good. Five video series. That's really popular. And PDFs like my top 5 photo editing apps and guide to macro photography, lens choices, that sort of thing. It's all in there. It's all free. When you sign up, an account's created for you. You get an email saying, welcome, here's your password. You go in, you can change your password, jump on the forum, introduce yourself. We have photo themes, which I've been a bit slack. It's been a while since I changed it. I've just been wanting to bring this to you every day, so this has been taking up a considerable amount of time preparing and putting this together. So with that, I think we'll wrap it up there. Thanks again for joining me. And where's my little thank you page? There it is. See, I'm not going to have this on the new system. I'm just going to say bye-bye and cut it short, and that's okay. But for now, I've got this. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.